Good day, everyone. Welcome to this class. In the last class, I treated how to use a push button to control an LED. In this class, we'll be looking at how to blink an LED for a number of times. So for this tutorial, we'll be needing some components, which are the Arduino board, your breadboard, your LED, and your resistor. Okay. So let's make our connections. We change the color to red. Then we connect our cathode to the negative or the ground on the Arduino board. We're now ready to write our codes. Put text as always. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a variable called LED to represent our actual LED on the breadboard. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to classify our LED as an output device, as we all know. So LED next thing is to write a command for a blinking LED, which is digital light. Then we go further to the next line. We have to sustain it when it's on for at least a second, and so put this in delay to help sustain it for some time. Let's say 1000 milliseconds. So we change here to low. before we make it blink for maybe a number of times, let's say 3, let's see whether this our initial code is correct. Okay, there's a mistake. Okay, this was not properly connected well. So Tinkercad has the ability to tell you if your connections are wrong. That's why it is always good to use it first. Make your initial connection, then you can transfer it to your real circuit using a breadboard. So let's try again. It should work now. So as you can see, it's blinking. Now it's blinking, but it doesn't have any number of times blinking. It's just going to continue blinking like that. Now, let's say we want to blink it 3 times as we were stating before. What do we have to do? We have to use a special, call it a special function or loop function called for loop. Now, this is a programming technique that allows us to repeat a particular action for a number of times. So in order to do that, you have to specify a container or a variable that will hold the number of times you want to repeat the action. For that, we will use int. We use I in I. Semicolon. After doing that, we will now go right inside the void loop. Now, we're not going to introduce the for loop. So for okay, then we open our brackets. You have to open a curly bracket also. Then also close the curly brackets. Now, this is where you write your condition or the number of times you want it to blink. So you have to have a starting point, an end point, and the flow rate of how you want it to go. So how do we do that? You type, you use your I, which you've declared, the number of time. You assign it to, we'll start from 1, wants to blink, we'll start, so let's 1 be the starting point. Then we'll move again. So I is less than, so where we want it to end is this, less than or equal to, let's say you have 3 times, so the same 3 times, so we use 3 times. Then the flow rate, so I want it to be increasing in an ascending order, that's 1, 2, 3, just like that. So when I put I plus plus, so for you to do that, so this is it. So what happens is that it tells us that we want you to repeat this function for a maximum of 3 times. It should not exceed 3 times. But let it start from, we start from what? 1. So let's see what happens. It's going to work. You can see. Now, you will notice that it's still blinking more than 3 times. So there's something we have to do. In order to confirm that this your for loop is correct, we have to add a delay. Like immediately after blinking for the number of times you want to blink, we will now know whether it works through the delay. So after blinking for 3 times, delay it maybe for 5 seconds and see if the process works. So include the delay. Okay, now let's see. Okay, 1, 2, 3. You can see it stopped for about 5 seconds. Then it moves again. 1, 2, 3. The lead is a little bit low. Let's check the value of our resistor. Okay. So you can see that the value is 1 kilo ohms. And it's normally supposed to be on 330. So it's not as if you use a higher resistor that you already won't turn on. It's just that it won't be bright. So that's why we use 330, which is specified. Let's see here. It's better now. 1, 2, that's 2, 3. It stops. Then it picks up again. Okay, we'll be stopping here for now. Hope you learned something new today. See you in the next class.